18, 19 years old. Once again, everybody who's old, we used to be young. So your 20 years in the future and being a Taekwondo professional is out there, and you're starting with the right foundation because of the things that we're doing here. Okay? Couple other reminders. We did put it up on the very first screen, but I would love to see your social media posts from this weekend. We said hashtag TKDPro24. So please do that so we can all share in the messaging that you're getting from here, and it means a lot to us to let other people know what's going on. Okay? Finally, from the networking, just a reminder that ideas don't change your school, you change your school, and so it's all going to be about taking action. And if you didn't, please connect with and plan to follow up with the person that gave you those interesting ideas, right? And you can start a more advanced dialogue to keep improving. Okay? All right. We are going to, I think I can do it. I'm going to put on a video. Once again, when I have like introduce this person in 3 minutes or less. And it's a nearly 40-year relationship. It's a very daunting task. So rather than try to do it all verbally, we do have some video that we have created for this event, and I'm going to share that with you. I think you might let me just make sure it's pulled up that way.
So my eyes is like looking to find the answer for that moment, for that person. That gives me energy. And when those things connected and working, that gives you pleasure, fun, excitement. Burning desire, the wanting to be a good teacher. That passion will help the teacher to continuously study because teaching never stops.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mice Sullivan, Grandmaster Sunshine.
Master P, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you go.
So, this interview session, and we will have some open Q&A from the audience comments as well, was inspired by two things. Number one, by one of my favorite TV shows, The Actors Studio. So I wanted to have a chance to sit in a comfortable chair for once. And to take one of the Professionals National Convention, so I'm sitting down on the job. And the honest truth that I think some of them may share that is, for 38 years, I followed my Solomon around with a clipboard. Solomon, I have a question. Solomon, I have a question. Solomon, I went to a seminar and I have 87 questions. Solomon, I have a question. Solomon, we have Black Belt Test, I have a question. I have a question. And we worked together for nearly 4 decades. And when he retired 2 years ago, I still had questions on the clipboard. And so I said, you know what, I will ask some ones that maybe I already know the answers to, but I will also ask some questions so that you might be able to share in the wisdom, the knowledge, the passion that I grew up learning from. I think it is fair to say that you are hearing from someone who has done it all, on all the different levels. Competing, coaching, school owning, organization running, and so I think some tremendous value for any stage or level of school owner or instructor here tonight, and I'm very pleased to be able to provide this to you. Again, I have a list of a fairly good length of questions to ask Grandmaster Chong to begin with, and then we will have open Q&A from the audience, so if you have questions you're thinking of, please be prepared for that. All right? Solomon, any opening comments before I start doing?
But being with a full room of enthusiastic martial artists makes me feeling good. I'm very excited to be with you. And I wish, and we all, me and all of us, have a good time together. And I'm ready. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to go directly into it, Solomon, that Taekwondo philosophy-wise, the vast majority of us, the majority of our students are children. How do you emphasize, or what would you highlight as being the primary benefits and the way we would express the benefits of Taekwondo to children for prospective members and parents?
Yeah, that's a major question right from the beginning. You can answer on that question in so many ways, and we could really differently answer on this question. Also, I would say, even though the answer is different, could be all right answers. However, I'd like to put this way: the value and benefits the children from my young out of Taekwondo schools, that I would let them have 2 major things. Number 1, the confidence. Number 2, respect. Everything is connected with those. That's how I believe. The confidence for young people gaining with their Taekwondo training that I can do seems like a little hard for me, but after I put all my effort into it, I learned that I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. To have that, to put in children in that position, that actually I help my students to gain hard-working habits. So confidence comes from working hard, and let them learning enjoyment by doing so. That's my way of facing for children for my school. Let me say this word. You know the Ken Blanchard, the 1 Minute manager at he teaches the Cornell University. And he made so many books like Well Done, but he wrote a couple books for golf. The great game of the golf. And there is the one story I just want to share with you. This is the confidence matter. The one that his name is Jimmy. Let's put his name is Jimmy. Jimmy is on the tee, ready to hit the ball, but there was a pond in front of him, so he feel like that's a little bit too much, and so he had a good ball. These days, the Pro V is like $5, $6 for one ball. So he looked at it and he put that good ball put in his pocket, and he dig his golfing bag and putting out the old ball, tiny ball, and put it up there and ready to hit the ball. And then also from the sky, wait a minute, Jimmy, looking it up there, be confident. Yes, sir, I should be confident. And I know I can be able to carry over that ball. Yeah, yes, sir, I will do it. I will be confident. Okay. Then he put the old ball back and put the new ball, good ball on the tee, and had a couple, you see it in the TV, they do practice swing, right? One time, two time, and he's put it ready to hit, and also the up on the air. Wait a minute, Jimmy. He looks up there, use old ball. Many of you got already that understand why. He watched up on the air, watched his couple times of practice swing. He knows your ball going to go over, so putting the hit with the old ball. In other words, no matter how much you are charged up, I know I can do it, but you are not conditioned. So we have here some former champions and national champions. For some tournaments, you may train so hard that you feel like, I cannot lose. I deserve to win the whole tournament. I worked so hard and I feel so strong. That's the confidence. But you had a party with your friends right before, last night, and you are still hanging over and go to the competing, then you're telling yourself, oh, I can still be winning the competition. You're not conditioned to winning the competition. No matter how much you are trying to tell yourself, right? So, teaching the students, particularly for the young people, hard-working habit. That's, I would say, the main thing. You will use your skills, knowledge, the energy to let your students gain those good habits. That's confidence. And the other one for respect, I would say, we can phrase the respect in so many ways, but I would say the respect for helping my children or students learn how to deal with other people. Giving the proper caring, interesting, understanding, embrace it, with all those available mindset, learn how to deal with others, with knowing who you are, what I have. It sounds like sparring? Huh? Isn't it sparring is all about that? Learn about your opponent and learn knowing yourself, and you are not going to be in trouble at the battlefield, right? Have you heard of that? And I do believe that is the respect. That's what Taekwondo training is all about. Learning how to deal with others in good way. So we have here champions. I know you are all respectful people because that's why you are good at sparring. You really know how to give proper respect, understanding and embracing to other people and dealing with others well. That's what I was thinking. I'm trying to teach my students in my school.
Are you getting a feel for how blessed I was? So I want to comment very little, but just add that recently I was talking to some other instructor. Oh, and now, teaching now is terrible because we just got to say, oh, good job, good job, good job. No matter what they do, people do anything, whatever, we just got to always give them self-esteem and, make them feel good and build their confidence. And Redman Strong always told me, no, that's 100% not what we are doing. And even schools that do it, you are teaching them paper. Can everybody do it? Yes, sir. No, say it louder. Yes, sir. Jump up and down and say, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. The phrase that he told me at that time, that's teaching paper confidence. Can be torn through very easily. But you let them do it. The young lady in the video breaking the board, we didn't go get a different, we didn't get a thinner board. Or we didn't say, oh, forget it, you don't have to break the board. But he would work with her, fix it. Hey, we're going to let you accomplish this today. And you're going to blossom as a result of it.
Adding up that I have taught for students for long years, but I never had any praying classes. I never had praying in my class. We never. That's what world class way. We never bring the praying in our Taekwondo class. We believe training hard, learning skills are exciting enough. Okay?
Yes, sir. And then just again making it practical, or not, it is already practical, but combining the things that I'm hearing from people. Oh, sometimes parents say, I don't want my kid to work with that kid. This kid works hard, put my kid with the kid that works hard all the time, but I don't want my kid to be with that one. Ma'am, my staff and I will overview the partnering and make sure we vary partnering, but it would go against the whole spirit of Taekwondo. If we start saying, you don't work with him, she doesn't work with, or he doesn't work, oh, this color scheme doesn't go with that one, glasses, can I go with this one, long hair with short hair. That's not the Taekwondo that I learned, that's not the Taekwondo that I can teach. I want your child to have a good experience, but that is a request we will never honor in our school, because Taekwondo we are for everybody to go with. Telling them there are more fitness options for adults and more group. My 80s era, 90s era, big box gym, $9 a month. Now, many types of group exercise classes exist. They do charge, like martial arts schools, a couple $100 per month very frequently. Are we still a relevant option for adults? What does Taekwondo have to offer to adults for physical, mental, emotional development?
Well, adults we can easily say that because we are all experiencing. They could be a little bit more specific. Oh, I am doing my Taekwondo for my physical conditioning. Some people will say that, no, it is for my stress release. Oh no, I really have enjoyed learning process of martial technical process. However, I like to say it this way, even adults, they are there for confidence and for respect. It's not much different. It's all, we still want to let them experience to gain hard-working habit, even though they are grown-ups, and gain the confidence that they can be able to do it. That, whoa, I'm too old for doing this. Wait a minute, you can be able to do it. Let's try to work together and put effort into it. And have fun doing it, getting better. They learn that. That's, I would say, that is a confidence. And particularly for the adults, they really realizing that they do have jobs, positioning, all different, but wearing the same uniform and really try to. Many people coming to the Taekwondo school, we do throwing all of those things behind and meeting the people with just a uniform and having a relationship and develop a very, very good respect to each other without knowing their background of their personal the achievement. And it is beautiful actually watching those and helping them go through those. So I would say for others, there's confidence and respect is a big part of that Taekwondo training. However, adults are more fragile than children. You all feel that way. They are more sensitive, harder to teach. The children, they do have a cushion. Parents, oh, mom, the Master Martins don't like me anymore. You know, no, he didn't give me a tip, whatever. No, he really likes you, he loves you, but he wants to see you do even better. Bravo, that's a cushion. But others, they don't have no cushion. When they don't like the situation or whatever, feels that they feel hard on what you're doing, watch out. They can be gone next day. Like that. We have they don't even give you a signal to stop it. So adults are more sensitive and harder to teach and put it together. That's why the dealing with adults, you have the leadership of instructors' leadership has to be well centered to put it together to develop strong adult classes.
I will just say that you heard me earlier, so okay, and how we're in a way changing the world for Taekwondo and the difference we can make and the transformations we can make. Once again, we weren't talking about just children, right? And exactly as Helen said, every day people come into our dojo, they have this kind of viewpoint or this kind of viewpoint, this kind of job or that kind of job, and they line up next to each other, and they sweat with each other, and they spar with each other, and they bow to each other. I am very sold on the value of Taekwondo to our community, to our world, really. And I one time said that we graduate from college and people tell us, oh, you're all excited because you think you're going to go out and change the world, then the real world will happen. I graduated college 40 years ago, or 35 years ago. I got 30, I don't know what I did. I graduated college a long time ago. I'm still thinking we're changing the world. Helen, you are very much so a teacher to teachers. Early on, you would have been responsible for hand-picking, okay, who's going to be staff in our schools. You did interview on many occasions instructors that wanted to come to us from Korea or wanted to come to us from other people's schools. What are, in your mind, somebody who wants to be a successful instructor, what are the character traits they need?
I would say the self-esteem, self-respect, and positive mentality, positive attitude. Those are two main things. I don't worry about, I may not carelessly look at, even, I may not worry too much about their knowledge and even philosophy yet. Those things can be developed very quickly in a way. When they have good, that self-esteem and positive attitude. I have many people work along with me, and the different characters will, be able to push themselves even further than somebody else's. I do have seen those ups and little ways up and down a little bit. People who have stronger self-esteem and a positive attitude, that they can really push themselves way up. The learning they do have, the learning is coming along. The learning habit can easily develop to push those people to go to the next level very quickly. And so next question was
from character traits of an instructor. To be a good instructor.
Yeah.
So you're saying self-esteem.
Yeah. Self-esteem and positive attitude. Plus the people skill. Yeah. I will put that, people skill. Know how to deal with your people very well. Have an interest in people. Understanding other people well. And those those combination is unstoppable. Positive attitude.
We used for many years as our hiring philosophy for our team that we would hire for attitude and train for skill. Right? I mean, they have to know PowerPoint. We use PowerPoint. They can learn that. They need to know our one-step sparring. They can learn that. But it can be very hard to learn a negative attitude or aggressive attitude. So in a way, when people say, who should I hire? Who do you think you should hire? You should hire people that can deliver the service and the type of attitude that you want in your school. The ability, something I do, one that I added as a result of listening to you just now, and I think I'd like to hear your response on it. How can we get the best out of the student? There is, of course, like a Pam Soroka, easy students to work with. Beautiful attitude, hardworking, have it, very focused all the time. I believe there's at least one person in the room who has a student that doesn't always pay attention. Is there? I believe there's somebody in the room who has a student that likes to talk too much or doesn't really give their best efforts. Do we have anybody? Once in a while we'll find somebody that has a difficult student to work with. You worked with U.S. Olympic athletes, and I've seen you work with very beginners of all ages and stages. How do you attack the situation of low effort or shyness? Or what is your strategy to try to get the best out of the student in front of you, even if they are lacking in some ways?
We can easily prejudge that he or she is a good student or not so good student. I would always say that would be dangerous. People may instead of he or she is not listening me well, instead of you thinking that way, he or she is not understanding me well. It's two different, right? Maybe he or she is, the way I am explaining to him, for him, it's a little hard to understand. It's not because of his don't want to listen to me. He just is not understanding me. He's not doing it because he doesn't want to do it. He's not doing it because he doesn't know how to do it. It is a way of we looking at our students. I like us, all of our teachers, we should look at positive way, no matter what. We should not question their integrity. If they don't have excitement, maybe because I'm not teaching excitingly. We can twist around and better way to look at our students. We could have better answer, better result to bring the students to the next level.
How's that for the answer to the question I didn't ask him ahead of time? I'm not expecting I would catch him off guard with anything like this. Did everybody, including myself, understand a little bit more thoroughly now what he was referring to and saying, oh, they have to have a positive attitude while teaching? We may have thought, oh yeah, you got to be smiling and nice and whatever. No, you have to have a positive sense of expectation of the student in front of you. And I would say, we did say it to our staff as much as possible, right? How about you take responsibility for their learning more than they take this? Oh, I have said to our team, okay, we have parents, students, instructors. We're all responsible for progress, right? Yes, yes, sir. Okay, this is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. No way. We are the professional. They're the amateurs. They're the hobbyists. If I go scuba diving, I've never done it, but if I go scuba diving for the first time, I hope they will never say to me, oh, Mike, you have 50% responsibility for your safety, and we have 50% responsibility for your safety. That would be a bad idea, because I don't know what I'm doing. So parents may not even know how to parent their child to be a successful taekwondoist. This young child in front of us does not know how to be a successful taekwondoist. We take the majority of the responsibility. That's what our team has been taught. That's what we do. Telemin, we worked together for nearly 4 decades. The core of our taekwondo remained the same, but I think we would say that we were progressive or innovative along the way. Finding that balance for any small business, but particularly for one rooted in tradition like taekwondo, can be difficult. We had literally thousands of hours of discussions, I would have to say that. What do you say to this room full of taekwondo professionals as they hear new ideas and new fancy different things? How do you balance tradition and innovation?
Innovation is like, we cannot ever stop the innovating. Innovation is to try to find a better way to do it. Every occasion of our taekwondo school, there are always room to get better. There are better answers some places, always. We were never going to stop searching and working on to get those answers. However, the tradition, is tradition burden? Some people saying, oh, I heard that, you know, that Master Western, we went to some places that we don't need a belt no more. I mean, uniform is too much. It's not necessary to have uniform. T-shirt is good enough and makes you even comfortable to walking even harder. Testing, forget about testing. I mean, yes sir, no sir, why? We don't even bow. I mean, it's just to learn how to throw the kick and punch and doing it and learning the good skills and feeling good. That's good enough. Then, tradition is a burden, unnecessary things. However, I think tradition is pride. It's not a burden, it's pride. Further, I'm a golfer too. Masters Golf is doing every year at the Augusta. I mean, to go to attend watching the game there, you have to submit yourself, and they do lottery pick to get the ticket. That's how hard it is. But you want to go there, get inside the golf course. Tens of thousands of people are walking around. They're waiting the games. Your cell phone, you cannot get in. You cannot have your cell phone. They are not allowing you take your cell phone into the golf course. Wait a minute. These days, you leave your cell phone behind, go to watching the golf game? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days? No way. Yes, they do. We don't want anything like that to carry on to disrupt any of our players. They are very strong and confidently carry those. Hey, we wearing good uniform, wearing the belt, giving the good proper respect, and handling each other well. Isn't it prideful? Yeah. Oh, come on. That has its own value. Should be carried as long as Taekwondo is muscle of this training. That's how I believe.
We would have staff meetings once a week in class with them that's shown for all 5 of our locations. And I knew the likelihood that some things Howard would say on Tuesday, everybody would say at their locations that week was very strong. By a show of hands, the likelihood that you're going to say tradition is not a burden, it's pride to your students sometime in the next week, raise your hands. Thank you. Helen, related with the innovation type of innovation idea, once again, you and I sat and saw, oh, sir, I saw this at a seminar. Sir, look, this new product has come out. Sir, they have this kind of way of doing uniforms, this kind of stories, this kind of thing. We know there's a variety of different ways to run a successful dojo, and even good friends and successful partners of mine, good fellow owners, have some different ways. But do you have some cautions to people about their classroom? Not safety cautions, but actual cautions about the core and teaching and philosophy in the classroom. Caution.
I like to say trustworthy. I mean, equality, fairness, and proper action. You are displayed. Your every steps are being watched, judged by your Taekwondo family. You are, and your decision matters to each and every individual of your students. One day you may tell your students you are not ready to go to the next level. You cannot test, or when you do this way, you are not ready to do this thing. Those things are happening in the classroom all the time. So your judgment, the credit is so importantly affect the relationship between you and your students and family. So I would say, how is it right word? Impromptu? Is it right word? Impromptu?
Impromptu means at the moment, spur of the moment.
Like without planning, it's just.
Yes, sir.
One day there was the Master Mertens knows this situation. One day I went to the school, one of my school, And at that time, when Master was teaching I believe that was the green belt children class. And he was teaching the sparring classes. Sparring at that time. And it's about 9 years old, 8, 9 years old kid was doing very good, the boy. Then also he was let everybody sitting down and pick up 2 people. So 1 for 2. And since you're doing so well, how about we do have a 2-for-1 sparring? It instantly bring the safety, the alertness. Because of the character of sparring changes right away. He maybe didn't realize that. He just wanna, oh, this guy is doing so well. So how about we do two put one to hand? Still he could still handle and have fun together. But consequences could be very much ugly because of he instantaneously just pick up the idea and do it. I always aware those things are very dangerous things to face like that. Teachers should not face like that. You have to be well planned. You have to be very, very concerned and always aware of the consequences of beyond and making proper decision and action to follow. Let your students to believe in you and trust you no matter what you do. I know you are making the right decision. Makes me feel good, makes us feel comfortable. I want you to be that kind of a teacher by study and concerns every corner of the consequences. So, trustworthy is a very, very important.
In our own staff training, I think I mentioned that if your students don't know which version of you is going to show up, you are not a good teacher. Oh, today he's really jazzed up. Oh, today he's at, if any of your students ever know she is in a bad mood today, or he's in a bad mood today, then Solomon did not show up. Just the regular person showed up. We even tell our staff, oh, John could have a good day, or John could have a bad day. Master Pastor Antonio doesn't have a bad day. So the consistency in how we interact with our students and our judgment that we face them is so important. Solomon, I know this, again, we've worked together for many decades. Could be from whatever background, there are some staff, some instructors that may have currently, or people may acquire staff that have some language barrier when working with students. They are teaching students, perhaps in English, and English is their second language or their third language. It's not one that they are as comfortable with. It's not a weakness that you have had for a very long time, but starting out in the earlier parts of your career, or as you have counseled masters that we have brought, in our case, from Korea, okay, your vocabulary is limited, your language skills are limited in this for this type of teaching. What did you encourage them how to get their message across in the best way?
Am I doing okay?
Sir.
I come over with I lived in this country. I came to the 1979, so I lived it quite a long time. But I still having trouble. English-wise. I'm reading the book with Korean. I'm reading the Bible with Korean writing. It's not in English because it's still too hard for me to go through. Some of you have your native Korean, and possibly your native languages, could be Spanish, whatever language it is. Of course, it is hard to express your thoughts with those second language. However, the problem is this way. Oh, if I am good in English, then I could explain, well, is it really true? No. Is it true? Do you really have well thoughts on the subject in your mind, in your own native language? Are you good at that? You have a clear, logically, your knowledge is well groomed, or how you ever say, you will be surprised at yourself. Wait a minute. I am not be able to, before even the language, I'm not even having clear thoughts on this subject. So my encouragement to you, while you are still learning the English, put it together, your thought first. And you will be, surprisingly, you can be able to bring out the meaning one way or another. Even if you have very few language, still you can deliver what you want to say, because you have very clear understanding of what you want to say. Do I make sense to you? Yes. Many times, whether you are English, native person, ask yourself on certain subject, can I be able to explain this subject well? And I like to encourage you to practice, to put it together. And I understand on this subject this way. You may put a note here, note there. Make yours. Then, even though you have a sort of a language, I believe that you can be able to deliver the meaning one way or another. You can use your body and still can be able to work something effectively.
I was really happy to ask that question because I knew that some of them had addressed that topic with our Korean staff often, but I would always address it with our right? Just because you are fluent in a language. Has anybody here ever been explaining something and realized along the way that you really didn't know what you were talking about? Right? I'm going to put up both of them. So it's not an automatic that because you speak the language that you are teaching something well. And I do want to give tremendous respect to Solomon, not only for all of his talent and wisdom, but his study and preparation. He was reading constantly. When we were working together, I said, oh, Solomon, I heard about this book and I'm reading this book. Mike, get it for me. Oftentimes in audio, because we prefer that, okay, I will listen to it. But you are looking at a Korean grandmaster who listens to Brian Tracy's The Art of the Sale, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, The 1 Minute Manager by Ken Blanchard, First Things First by Stephen Covey. And we developed a shared language because of his willingness to study. The other thing that I will always think of when I think of Solomon and all the years we worked together is how many notes he had. Solomon, what are you doing? Oh, I'm making notes. Why? Oh, we're going to have staff development day. I want to be prepared. Oh, I'm going to have a 3-hour class for the black belt candidates. I do have some notes I want to go over. So it wasn't just, oh, we're on board. Here's some ideas. The study and preparation was always there. Are we enjoying this so far? Sure. Can we put some energy into the room, please? I will have just a couple more questions to Grandmaster Chung, and then we will open some questions from the audience. besides being a great teacher, he was also an employer. Employer to decades of employees, Korean staff, American staff, start from some very low level and raise up to very high levels. Grandmaster Strong, as an employer, what did you look for when deciding to hire and promote staff? So again, not maybe at the lowest level, but you say, okay, I want to try to make things happen with this young man or young woman in front of me. What was it that was catching your eye, or what was your philosophy behind that? So the staff that you chose, or the staff that you gave opportunity to, or even when you are deciding, I want to give this person more opportunity, why was it? What were the important traits that they had that made you think this person can be good?
We talked about that earlier, with similar question. If I adding up on that for someone who working along with together and who wants to act more responsibility and put a stronger position, I would say they're like ownership mentality. You know, somehow, when you work with people, when the Master Martins and I work all along for a long time together, he carries that ownership mentality. He never ever brings up certain things. That's not my job. Then everything what I was doing, it's connected to. He was taking it, submitting. Oh, that's a part of. I am the part of that. Everything. So I call that as ownership mentality. And when you have ownership mentality, the people who are working along with that kind of mentality, attitude, absolutely, that the work is run more energetic, run more productive, and fun together. So those people, if some of you are here, maybe in this room, you may be an employee now, future employer possibly, and you want to be a good employee, and someday you want to be a good employer. I'd like you to learn to carry ownership mentality. Oh, that's not my job. No, everything is connected with you. What can I do for that to make help to do better? You have that way to face it. I know your people who walking along with you will put you, stronger position to make it stronger, productive results along with you. So I'm encouraging you carry the ownership mentality.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. That's right. Two more questions before we open up. So again, start thinking about your questions that you may like to ask. We'll get to as many as we can. World-class staff in this room. You worked for Grandmaster Chung and I at one point. Would you please stand up? By the way, this is an opportunity for me to recognize some of our world-class staff, now school owners. How about we give them a hand, please? We don't have, please have a seat, thank you. Again, we did have hundreds of employees over the years. We have 35 former staff who now own and operate their own schools, all relatively, not relatively, they are, in most cases, the most successful schools in their cities. We were white and Korean. We were tall and small. We were male and female. We were another at times, and we did get aggravated with one another at times. When I asked it in here originally as saying, how did you create harmony between Korean and American? But realistically, I like to ask you, Taekwondo father, how did you keep the kids working together well when they came to you? She kicked me. He punched me. That's for the kids' answer. We did. I think that's an important topic to be able to address, creating harmony among differing personalities. Again, I don't think it was always cultural, because sometimes it was even American to American style.
That's a very, very good question and hard question. It's really it's a lifelong subject for everybody. I mean, we want to be that kind of person to begin with, who knows good with other people. And again, Taekwondo is all for that. Learn how to deal with other people, being the respectful, handle the situation. For trying to be particularly for Korean and American, the Korean masters coming from Korea, and the American instructors grew up in here, and somehow they working together. It's already the trouble is there. It's simply their language barrier, their culture, I mean, everything is different. It is, everything is different. And when you start looking at why he's doing it or she's doing that way, you're not going to like it. It easily, I have seen so many fights. Fight means, I don't mean fight this way. Then arguing and dislike and misunderstanding. So many cases. Somehow, we are lack of. We do understand, try to understand ourselves very well, but we are lack of understanding the other side well enough. If we really try to go extra steps forward to see things in his side, in her way, there are a lot of things that we can understand better and even help and cooperate instead of against and tightening up. Imagine when we understand more in their side of a situation, whole things turns around differently. So you have a problem. This afternoon, actually, one of our the member in the Buffalo came to my room a short time, then asked someone, I have these difficulties with so much. So I was telling that person, you maybe have a stronger position, stronger situation than the other person, that person. If you try to understand that person's situation now, how the hardship that person have having now, you may be feeling better, and you may handle the situation for better to have a better relationship between two of you. And that person come up telling me that told me now to try to face that way. And this subject is endless actually. If we try to understand, and we are all different. No matter what, English, Korean, doesn't matter. We are all very different. We are always learning to get better, to know each other, to working to embrace, to get closer. So try to understand where the other person is, and will have a stronger relationship, no doubt. And we will continuously, every one of us will continuously learn how to understand other people better. We will continue to study by reading the book, by learn the skills of sparring, by conversations, developing conversations skills. We will continuously do that stuff, so we can be better at the situation.
So one of the things that I always noticed, and I believe you would feel, is the consistency that how Sabunim taught was how we managed. That the distinction between how we would teach students in a class, whether children and adults, or manage a staff of employees of full-grown adults, is following the same philosophy. Somebody here who's better than me at knowing Latin or whatever, that the word integrity and the word integration, right, could have some similarity there, right, at the base, I believe. And so his integrity of staying true to the principles, and then how that goes across all the interactions that we have with our people, with our staff, with our students, with our parents. I want to definitely make sure I turn Grandmaster Chong over to everybody for some questions. So I'm going to end my formal interview at that part. How about we give a little bit of answer? We have microphones in the audience, and we have runners that will bring the microphone to you. I'd like to get at least a few questions before we finish up this session. If you have a question, if you would please raise your hand. If you raise your hand. You're going to make Gracie got to run all the way here. Thank you, Ms. Maiziak.
Yes, sir.
Newest member of our team. Grandmaster Hendrichuk in the front row. Leaders lead by example. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Sir. Sir, first and foremost, this was awesome. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate your time. How did you know, Master Mertens was your staff member for a long time. I went from assistant instructor to general manager and so forth. How did you know that he was ready to become a partner?
Actually, his quality, his quality was lightened up, even when he was like a teenager, the late teenager. He was still coming to Dojang, and to look around. Some of them just have suggestions to me while he was 19 years old. One time he was even asking me. I have had the employee working for me. He was telling me, I think you should fire him. He was having that kind of mentality from the early age. And after he graduated his college, I was telling him, Mike, let's make something very special between two of us, and let's move on. And that's for him at that time. That's like a very important time in the right after graduated the wonderful school, and he's smart and good at school. He could be good at whatever he was doing, but took it my the suggestion and came along. And as again, from the beginning, that he was carrying his ownership mentality. So it's a matter of time. When would be the right time to bring him into the partner? That was the thing. But his quality was from the very beginning. He carried that all along, and I am very happy, proud that he took everything from me now. It's a very good feeling. I can tell you that. It is a very good feeling that I have worked hard for myself for a long time, and I left behind, but I know it's in good hands. And that's it.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead, please. Thank you, sir. I have actually a follow-up question, because Grandmaster Andrew took my question, so I was trying to figure out another way of asking it. Kwajin, when you were considering bringing on Master Mertens as a partner, did you have the vision of the 5 schools and the 10,000 square foot? Was that in your brain, or did you just think, I'm going to partner with him and we'll just create magic together? Because I think a lot of us have the visions of what we want to achieve, and we see what you guys have done together. And I'm just curious if it was manifested in your brain early on, or was it just a byproduct of you guys working together? So.
Well, we have had, I have had from the beginning that have a pretty good vision that how we want to go along. And I brought out that to him, and we shared about my thoughts together. And from the beginning that he was okay, active. So I'm going to work on this area that is very eagerly and stepped in. And we have had continuously shared that the pushing, moving forward all the time. So we share the bigger pictures, and somehow we may can say still little shortcome. We could do even more. We could do even better. You could say it that way. At the same time, for me, I know that Master Mertens can push it. We were this way. Now I'm out, but he could push furthermore. I am supportive, and I will be giving the every possible and for that. But I'm very happy where I'm at now. Okay.
My Sabanim taught me Taekwondo, so I taught other people Taekwondo. My Sabanim built a 10,000 square foot building, so I built a 10,000 square foot building. My Sabanim was kind enough to bring me under his wing and make me his business partner, and I have now had the honor to choose. I do have business partners in 3 of our locations, the husband and wife team of Melanie and Alex Delino, and Master Joe Blanco, who happens to be out of town, and Master J.O. Troy. Could I have my business partner stand up, please, and just recognize them?
Well, one thing I'd like to add up with about the situation in overall. I know when I'm facing those the partners of Master Mertens, who every one of them worked along with me too. And knowing their situation and their relationship, everybody's very positive and happy, which makes me feel so good down sitting in the Atlanta, Georgia, in my room and thinking about here makes me feel very good because of I know they are all very pleased and happy for their situation now, and thankful to the Westmont.
I have been asked on my advice about partnering things, and so let me say this. Then I want to understand, okay, what's the profit split, and how do you arrange it, and how are the relationships, and okay, how's the documentation, and whatever. I honestly believe sometimes having an example gives you great clarity. I treated the decision to partner as seriously, different, but as seriously as my decision to get married. Is this a person I want to share a life with? A different life than the life I share with my spouse. But we are going to raise a child together, called this Dojang. Is this the person I want to raise that Dojang with? And I have very, very good and very warm feelings. They are all my juniors. They're the next generation down from me by a good number of years. But on that we are agreed. Do we like the same music, the same food, the same everything? No. In fact, in partnership, if both people have an identical skill set, identical knowledge, then one of you is redundant. So we bring complementary perspective to it. We just built out one of our dojang, same dojang, but we moved it and we built it out. I know Master Alex Levino handled more of the physical measuring things, whatever, because he's much better at it than I am. Every piece of paper and document that goes out has Master Levino's handprints on it because she's better at it than I am. And I am thankful for that. And again, we may have different interests here and there, different viewpoints on things here and there, but we grew to have the same feeling on how we're going to treat our Taekwondo Dojang baby. And to me, that was first. Do I want to marry and raise this Dojang with this person? Was the bigger part of our discussion than any other. We did a partnership agreement 20 years ago, and never looked at it again. Because that piece of paper had no relevance in all of the other conversations that we had. I don't know if that's the only way for everybody, but I never thought it was a business transaction. I thought it was a relationship decision. Where's Miss Mizia? Where are we at? I think, I'm sorry. She's up that side. Okay, can you move towards the middle, just because we don't miss some of these middle people? Let's go to this gentleman in the center, and then we'll get over there as well. We'll go about 4 or 5 more questions, I think, most. Ms. Mizia, can I have you come up to, you on that. Okay, thank you. Yep. Let's go ahead.
Great, thank you. Sir, a couple of things stuck with me. You mentioned that you've never played any games, Taekwondo was fun enough. Also that tradition is pride. This is an on-the-mat question. What if you have a very talented, smart student, but now they're worried about concussions, head contact, sparring? Good question. Yes, are you putting the student in a different track? Yes.
That's a good question. Very, very good question. That's actually I went to the Korea some years ago, and then I did give some the lectures front of the seminar front of the Korean masters out there, and I was one day asked, okay, how many of you teach the sparring in your school? And I was surprised how the low number of people raised their hands. Whoa, what's going on? And in Korea, they do have like teams program. Even elementary school has Taekwondo sparring team, and the middle school, high school, college. So those are special people are doing the sparring continuously. But in Dojang, regular Dojang, many people are not teaching the sparring because they don't know how to teach. That's the answer. Answer is not because of, they don't care. The people who teach the sparring is people, taking those risks of getting hurt. No, people teach the sparring is because of they know how to teach sparring properly and learn how to deal each other. Let them learn how to respect each other and understanding each other and have fun doing it instead and worry about getting hurt. That's what world-class way of teaching sparring. And I am emphasizing that all over. Without sparring, sparring is the essence of the taekwondo, isn't it? Come on, guys. It's martial arts.
Yes, sir.
But you don't know how to teach sparring because you think that teaching sparring, they're going to get hurt. No. You teach them A, B, C, D, how to use those and make the words to put it together and understanding. Help them to live that they will enjoy instead of worry. Do I make sense?
Sir.
Yeah. Go ahead, please. The character development, all those good, virtue, good things. For the sparring training really contains everything what you need out of training taekwondo, really. And focus, cooperation, confidence, responsibilities, respect, and you name it, whatever it is in sparring training, you can very strongly highlight, well teach, and yet it's far from being. It's fun. Maybe someday I want to take my uniform, work together with you, how to teach the sparring, even though I cannot throw many of you the way you throw, but yes. So some of you, many of you, I know that you teach sparring properly. And if some of you, any of you, having some difficulties with teaching type of sparring because of worry about injury, I will tell you because you don't know how to teach sparring. Sparring is fun.
Sir.
So, okay, thank you, sir. I will say, having grown up learning from Grandmaster Chung, we did have a few different decades of our training style. I grew up obviously as a Olympic style type of technical competitor. We sparred with each other rather hard. We also frequently would spar with no safety gear on whatsoever. And again, so all of you may know that if you had a choice sometimes between if I'm going to spar with Master Graf or for fun sparring, or I'm going to spar with some green belt, I would feel like, I'm less likely to be injured by him than I am going to be by this green belt. So learning, as Grandmaster Chung would say, even then, how to give and take with people and how to back it off a little bit was important. That being said, sir, I do want to address one part of your question that probably as early as 10 years ago, we stopped doing head contact in our internal tournaments. We stopped doing head contact in our dojans. We drill and skill with axe kicks and spinning kicks and hook kicks and all kinds of things. But we felt like for knowing our student body, 1,800 recreational taekwondoists, it was not necessary for them to get kicked in the head or kick someone else in the head as part of our training. So we have done that. We have not stubbornly, we have continually asked ourselves what is in the best interest of our students. As a result of it, in certain areas, we have more curriculum. In certain areas, we have less curriculum. In certain areas, what the larger taekwondo organizations have done, we have not followed along, because ultimately it's our house. Okay. I want to see if we can...
Let me just add up one more thing. Particularly for the sparring, how the way of facing it. I am facing the sparring. We could face the sparring as a part of a game. It's like a game. You do this way, I try to go this way. You move this way, and the best way to handle is this way. It's all the, in a way, the game. The elements in the sparring. Because of that, it's fun. If you find a way, find out the way to do that, I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy teaching your students sparring and use those tools for their character development and very good. Okay.
Thank you. We're only going to have time, I think, for one more question, and we're going to have more than about 5 or 6 hands up. World-class family people, put your hand down because you get to see Grandma all the time. I know, I'll make sure. Again, I know that you'll have a chance to grab it. Let me, did anybody from Canada ask a question so far? Because okay, we got to make sure we're represented. Okay, so from Canada, yes sir? Yes, sir. All right, we want to make sure that Canada feels represented well. How many Canadians here? Thank you. Thank you. So this is actually the International Taekwondo Professionals Convention, right? Thank you. Okay, can we, Grace is where? Oh, Grace, I'm sorry. Miss Mazia, can we run it up here, please? Thank you. All right, this will be our, because I know everybody's hungry as well. Okay, we could keep Grandmaster on for 3 more hours, but let's have a final question. Sir, no pressure though.
Thank you, sir. Just a follow-up regarding sparring. At what rank do you like to start student sparring, and what are the minimum amount of gear that they need to wear to participate in contact sparring?
Oh, that's a good question. We do have partner drills. Partner drills involved with the steps in the places. Forward step, backward step, side step. We teach those along with from the very early stage of the taekwondo development, and let them one by one. First, for earlier belt, okay, when somebody is throwing the kick or punch, slice back, understanding about distance. Okay, now after they're finished, then let's start to learn how to simple counter that, back and forth. Like again, the rule and understanding the game, put it together. Okay, when I'm doing it this way, and they could have this way or that way, move around. It's knowledge adding up along the way of their belt level of training. Do I make sense to you? And because of that, we want to be in the position, the students who throw the sparring without getting hit. I know he got me. I know I got you. Are you someone who, you know, the national team members who train with a very heavy, good ones each other, you do look like a very tight. But even though he or she didn't hit me, but I know, oops, he got me. We want to let students to understand those without getting hit. Oh, I gave him or I gave her, she got me. And accepting, embracing, understanding, and if I'm too strong, and I'm going to be the legion, my partner, and it's all part of a process of doing proper sparring. It's again, that's respect, right? We help the students to understand that. So you are teaching your students accordingly, step by step, to expand their level of the execution stronger. So after they become very good, the level go to the sparring competition, and they can throw hard, fast, but still they can manage to be able to help each other and adjust each other, not together, hurt each other. I follow you. Makes sense? You do have system, step by step, to understand in the game of sparring.
Within our world-class system, we do paddle targets or target hitting, running drills. 80% of our classes, children, adults, little tigers, are facing each other and doing drills back and forth. So white belts do it, yellow belts start sparring. Yellow belts start sparring, wearing what we call light gear. Actually, HOBU is not a requirement for us until black belt. I will touch upon some. Well, it's my honor and pleasure to present the final session of this convention, how to be a competitive instructor, not a competition instructor, how to be a competitive instructor. And it will be my honor to demonstrate a little bit more the teaching principles that we follow in teaching our classes. Ladies and gentlemen,
while I was sharing my thought with you, I was telling myself, yeah, Taekwondo, the future is good. Because you are all asking the questions, studying how we can do that, how we can be more effectively help the people learning from Taekwondo and giving the valuable the experience. And you all are carrying that attitude. Taekwondo will be continuously developed, and it will be bigger. And the future is really very strong and bright. Congratulations, and thank you very much being with me. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
We'll finish in less than 2 minutes. I was a very lucky Taekwondo student, yes? Yes. 40 years of wisdom and guidance. Okay, just to make sure everybody's clear on a couple of things, in a moment, the room next to us is going to be set up for eating. We have just about maxed it out, so I think every table will be full. Please, invite people to be with you. I still may encourage you even though you've been with your team here this weekend, try to meet and see other people. You may be surprised. You may get a little tip or idea during dinner, which is not a formal part of our training, that becomes very, very valuable for you. So of course we have that.